So last week, I talked about The Upside of Your Dark Side, a book by Todd Kashdan and Robert Biwas-Steiner, two pioneering researchers in the field of psychology, who argue that happiness makes us sad and mindfulness might be overrated. Kashdan and Biwas-Steiner argue that psychological health means wholeness rather than happiness, and that traits we all construe to be negative are actually essential parts of well-being. Like anxiety. Wouldn't it be great to get rid of our anxiety once and for all? Well, do you also want to stop enjoying horror movies and be bored on roller coasters and less prepared for earthquakes or floods? I'm gonna say no. And on top of all these things, anxious people are far more vigilant than their peers. So anxiety stimulates our brains, making us more alert and attentive to potential danger. Anxiety not only makes you pay more attention to cues in the world, but it actually heightens perception. Research has shown that people can see greater distances when they're anxious. Take that, LASIK, I don't need you anymore. My anxiety's giving me superpowers. And when we're anxious, we even enjoy a sharper sense of hearing. Anxious people are more likely to react swiftly and find solutions when there is perceived trouble. Or what about anger, right? Would you guess that anger actually enhances creativity and increases your authority? And you don't even have to be the person who's angry. You can actually use another person's anger to crank up your own creativity. Specifically, receiving angry feedback increases both the quality of our ideas and their originality. So in an experiment, participants were instructed to come up with as many as possible uses for a brick as they could. However, before beginning the task, some of the participants had received very angry feedback on another assignment. The results? The angry feedback enhanced the creativity of those participants who preferred to feel in control. They found more uses for the brick than those who had previously been given neutral feedback. And what's more, their ideas were much more original. Ideas such as carrying the brick around in a backpack as a way to exercise. In addition, anger can enhance your authority, as angry people are often viewed as being more powerful than their happier counterparts. Demonstrating anger can actually give you leverage during negotiations. Now, of course, there's definitely a line between like healthy anger and then just like verbally or emotionally abusing someone, so don't just start screaming at people you love for no reason. And if you've ever felt guilty for feeling guilty, I'm happy to inform you that guilt has a ton of benefits. Guilt not only motivates us to repair any damage we've done, but it helps us respect moral boundaries. Guilt is a terrible feeling, so we avoid actions that are gonna make us feel that way. Researchers have found that adults who are prone to react with strong feelings of guilt are less likely to engage in harmful behaviors like drunk driving, assaulting others, or theft. Now, there is a difference, though, they note, between guilt and shame. Though we have benefits by feeling and avoiding feelings of guilt, shame, wholly unhelpful. Guilt causes us to want to take responsibility, whereas shame makes us want to sweep everything under the rug in self-preservation. Anxiety, anger, guilt, okay, these are all pretty solid. You probably could have guessed them. But what about narcissistic traits? Can they make you more productive, creative, and successful? I mean, surely the hallmarks of narcissism, excessive admiration seeking, a grandiose sense of importance, and entitlement can't be good for you. Oh yes, they can. Narcissistic people are more likely to reach the ambitious goals they've set for themselves because they feel entitled to pursue them. They're less impeded by self-doubt, even when the odds are stacked against them. And they believe that they're entitled to success, willing to give anything and everything to succeed, stand out, and win the admiration of others. These character traits are pretty off-putting, but what happens when the person displaying them is a medical researcher deciphering the human genome or trying to cure cancer? Great reframe. Furthermore, narcissism can actually enhance your creativity. Since narcissists are so sure of their individuality and brilliance, what's that like? They are more likely to consider ideas that others may dismiss as just too freaking weird. They have a considerable amount of creative freedom because they pay very little attention to common conventions and the assumptions of other lesser people. Now, if narcissism wasn't surprising enough for you, how about psychopathic traits? There's no way that those can be good, right? I mean, in popular culture, every psychopath we know is a murderer. But in real life, psychopaths are more likely to be in the police force or doctors. Yes, psychopathy is often characterized with a ton of what we would consider negative traits. However, psychopaths are incredibly useful to society. Due to their emotional detachment and shallow emotion, they're better at handling crises such as terrorist attacks or hostage situations. And psychopaths also make better leaders. In a study, 121 experts were asked to evaluate the president's personality traits and leadership performance. The researchers took this data and estimated both leadership performance and psychopathic traits from each president's biography. Those presidents with more psychopathic traits were better leadership performers, proving to be more persuasive, willing to take more risks, and more likely to keep a positive relationship with Congress. Plus, they were more adept at handling crises than their non-psychopathic counterparts. Anxiety, anger, guilt, narcissism, psychopathy. Though we view these traits as bad and often do whatever we can to avoid them, Kashdan and Bywys-Steiner have shown me that negative feelings are an essential part of wholeness. What I see as anxiety is actually vigilance. Anger is great motivation. Guilt sets my moral boundaries. Narcissism gives me the confidence to chase my dreams. And psychopathy, I don't have any of that, so it's fine. I'm Anna Akana, and thank you to the Patrons who supported today's video. And of course, thank you always to Daddy Squarespace for sponsoring today's episode. Daddy Squarespace is an all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business, complete with marketing tools and analytics to have your website be the best sugar baby she can be. For all of you who love to create audio content, you can use audio blocks, which allows you to embed audio on your site, and then you can tag the audio for iTunes when your audio block is placed in a blog. Plus, you can have multiple contributors receive selective access to your site's website manager. And don't worry, you own all the content that you put onto the Daddy Squarespace platform. He offers one-click data portability. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And whenever you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/Anna to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Daddy Squarespace. He's a square daddy.